18-year-old suspect arrested after confessing to Pasadena 11-year-old strangulation. Okay, Pasadena, Texas. The man accused of sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl in Pasadena before allegedly strangling her to death was arrested out of state, according to police. On Saturday, authorities confirmed that the Shreveport, Louisiana Police Department arrested 18-year-old Juan Carlos Garcia Rodriguez, who is awaiting to be extradited back to Texas. Okay, he is known to have given a full confession to police officers. So, how did this all come about? Let's get into it. A key left behind, like a physical key. A key left behind nearby the remains of an 11-year-old girl in Pasadena apartment complex was the crucial link that police used to identify the 18-year-old suspect, who was named a person of interest on Friday. The Pasadena Police Department revealed the new detail on Friday, 6 days after Maria Gonzalez's father found her strangled underneath a bed last Saturday. According to Chief Josh Bruegger, a key left at the scene that did not open the girl's unit where she was left for dead was located when investigators swept through last Saturday. Police used the key to try and match it with doors to other units at the main village apartments on 1004 Main Street. While Bruegger didn't immediately explain how Garcia Rodriguez was tied to the key, he said it opened to a unit where the suspect was staying. Okay, so he was in this apartment complex and it opened up his door, which is where also two other people resided. In addition, the image that Pasadena police produced hours before the chief's Friday afternoon news conference came from body-worn camera footage when investigators interviewed Garcia Rodriguez shortly after the girl's body was found. The chief explained they talked with and obtained DNA samples from 10 neighbors and witnesses, including Garcia Rodriguez. As part of their investigation, Garcia Rodriguez was described as evasive with investigators. He also went on to explain that the investigators learned Garcia Rodriguez had been living at the apartment complex for 3 to 4 weeks when the murder took place. Garcia Rodriguez, who is from Guatemala, was staying with people who were known to other people he knew, so friends of friends. When his roommate asked him to return his key, Bruegger said he told him that he was going to hang on to it. So the reason why his roommates asked, like, hey, can you return your keys? Because Juan Garcia Rodriguez actually said, like, oh, like after he did what he did, he said, oh, I'm going to be looking for work elsewhere. And they're like, well, give me your key. I'll hold on to it. Okay. They said that he was not considered a person of interest or under surveillance when he left town. Police did not realize the key found at the scene unlocked his unit until after his departure. Garcia Rodriguez's first documented encounter with U.S. Customs and Border Protection was in January in El Paso. He was released to his sponsors in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. Bruegger said that the department has been unable to make contact with those said sponsors. Police couldn't say whether the Garcia Rodriguez and the victim knew each other, but the chief added they lived in close proximity. So I'm assuming some kind of maybe you were unemployed, you didn't have a job, and you noticed that the dad would leave at a certain time. Maybe he'll walk his daughter from time to time and hang out with her outside, whatever, maybe grab groceries. And he's seen that this girl, it was just the girl and the father, and then he just waited for an opportunity. That's what I think happened. Strikingly, one of those things was an elaboration on how Maria was found. Bruegger confirmed the child's body was stuffed, that it was stuffed in a trash bag and was placed underneath a clothes hamper, which was under a bed. So when the father, I'm going to actually finish this and then I'll get into a little bit more. She has been alone in the apartment while her father was at work. The last communication Carmelo Gonzalez had with his daughter was a text message that someone was knocking on the door. It wasn't until hours later he discovered her body when he came home from work. From my understanding on what took place with this is he was leaving from work. He was leaving the home to go to work. I think it was like 9:40, 9:43, 9:45. And then a couple minutes later, they said the daughter messaged her dad and said, hey, someone's knocking on my door. Someone's knocking on the door. And then he was messaging her back and forth, and then communication stopped. And then he was like, okay, let me go and call some family members who also live within the apartment complex, and said, hey, can you guys go over there and check on her? So then they go and they like, I don't see her at all. So 5 hours later, which I don't get why it wouldn't be sooner. Like the moment your daughter said this, I thought he would have turned around immediately, but he didn't. But that's neither here or there. So then he comes home, then he looks for her, and that's when he discovers her under the bed. And the family didn't even, I guess they didn't do a thorough search. They were just like, oh, she ain't here. But it's a very upsetting story, definitely. But they do have a GoFundMe, which I also will link in the description down below. But this is just what it looks like, just so you can see it. And it says helping Gonzalez family with funeral expenses. So their goal is $45,000. So far they have 44,507. So they're almost at their goal, and I'm sure they're going to be exceeding their goal as well. But yeah, it's very, very upsetting. Now, some people may wonder and ask like, okay, well, where's the mom? The mom is in Guatemala, because they're from Guatemala. So they were originally, I think they were in Austin, and they were in another city, and then that's when they got to Houston, the Pasadena, Houston area and whatnot. But the mom is not in the States, and from my understanding, they were only at that apartment for about 3 to 4 months, and they said this guy was here for a few weeks, so there's that. But they got to GoFundMe. I'm happy that they found them. They were actually able to get this guy, because they were worried like, okay, this fool may try to hitch his ride all the way back to Mexico, even though he's not from Mexico. But they were worried that he was going to flee. Luckily, they were able to get him in Baton Rouge. I wonder if we can eventually get some more information as to how exactly they knew because they had a sponsor, he had a sponsor. But I wonder how they knew, like, was there like a serious alert, like all these police are looking? Was there some kind of traffic stops that were going on so we could go and check to see where this fool is? But I'm very happy that they were able to capture him, and I'm very sorry, and it's very unfortunate what happened to this little girl. Hey, I greatly appreciate if you could support me. Simply go to ebay.com. In the search bar, type in Latrice Limited, click on shops, and then support me. I have a wide variety of items on there, many of my own personal Latrice Limited items, such as candles, bath bomb soaps, essential oil blends, lingerie robes, so much stuff. I even have men's ties and comic books on there. Definitely support me, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.